At the end of the day, what you want that person to know is that what's important to them is important to you. And what communicates the opposite is when we're listening, we're there, but we're not really there. Be a good listener. This is hard for us as leaders sometimes to listen, isn't it? Because as leaders, we are problem solvers. We're problem solvers. And so when someone comes to us and they're upset, when somebody comes to us with a complaint, when someone comes to us because their feelings got hurt, when somebody comes to us with some kind of angst about something, immediately in our minds, it is easy to formulate a response instead of listening. Now, don't look at me like you're judging me. Do you know what I'm talking about? How we formulate a response before we even listen. I remember my grandma used to say, God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth. Your grandma ever tell you this? Yeah. So you can listen twice as much as you talk. Right, or as you speak. And one of the great skills that we can develop is the skill of people really understanding that we are listening, that we're listening. Now here's where it gets to be a real challenge, is on Sundays, 10 minutes before church, and somebody's got something to talk to you about, right? Because they don't know that 3 people have called you 15 minutes prior to say they aren't going to be there, so you got to go find a warm body to fill that room. And they don't know that you're supposed to be over in this place right now, but they've got something important to them to talk to you about. And so that's the challenge, especially with what we do in church work, because we've got these short opportunities where we're with the majority of our volunteers and parents and kids. So how do you really listen? You do your best. You do your best. You do your best to make good eye contact, to nod, to really listen. And sometimes you do have to say, you know what? I know this is real important to you, and it's important to me. Now, I wish I had more time, but I got to get to this room. But you know what? Can I call you tomorrow? Or, do you have any time this week that we can get together and talk more about this? At the end of the day, what you want that person to know is that what's important to them is important to you. And what communicates the opposite is when we're listening, we're there, but we're not really there. You've all been there, where you're talking to somebody and they're listening, but you can tell they're not listening because their eyes are rolling, their eyes are going other places, and that doesn't make you feel special, doesn't make you feel respected, doesn't really make you feel like you're being listened to. But you've got those people in your life that really listen, that really listen. I remember Beth's grandpa. He was a pastor all these years, and he died and went home to be with the Lord probably 5 years ago. He was a listener, and as busy as he was, Beth and I knew that we could talk to him and that he would really take an interest and listen.